I can't speak to other physicians' patients, but I had 20.
In 2013, several patients of Dr. Ken Spaeth became sick. It was determined that the supplements they had been taking were tainted with anabolic steroids.
For the women who were taking it, that began to have a dramatic effect. Many of them were growing facial hair, their voices were deepening and becoming hoarser. Many of them stopped having their periods. And for some of those affected, they were quite young. Some of them were teenagers. I think both physically and psychologically it was very traumatic to be going through this and not having any idea why. There was also pretty significant toxicity to the liver from the steroids, and some patients were affected so severely that they were hospitalized for intense elevations in their liver enzymes and approaching liver failure.
And all this from taking a supplement that people presumed would help boost their health. Vitamins and supplements, which seem to be everywhere from drugstores to grocery stores, have had issues with other contaminants as well.
Heavy metals such as lead and mercury have been found. Industrial pollutants like PCBs have been found. And then in addition to that, New York State Attorney General recently did some testing and found that a number of dietary supplements didn't contain what the label described as what the product should contain.
Dr. Spaeth notes that these are specific cases and isolated incidents. Dr. Hai-Cho Wang, a researcher at the Feinstein Institute for Medical Research who has discovered benefits of certain herbal remedies, agrees.
We do have evidence those herbal remedies can be beneficial for patients who are suffering from inflammation conditions. Two examples will be green tea and mung bean. Green tea is made from the leaves of Camellia sinensis. So green tea retains the color of green leaves because it was never being processed by fermentation. Mung bean is also called green gram. So it's produced predominantly in Asia, such as India, China, also in the south part of the United States of America. You can get both green tea and mung bean from any Asian food stores and market. Patients should talk to their doctor first before they adapt this as an adjuvant therapy to reduce inflammation.
With careful supervision, the combination of supplements, complementary techniques, and Western medicine can benefit patients.
I started to feel like my heart was racing. I started to lose weight, and even though losing weight is a good thing, I wasn't doing anything to cause it. It ended up that I had a hyperthyroid. I was allergic to the first medicine and put me on the second medicine, and there was only 2. At that point in time, though, then the second one, it actually shot my liver enzymes up to 3 times the level, which is actually not a good thing. I then had to get tested for hepatitis and all this other stuff. And then I realized that, I can't be on the medicines. I didn't have any other alternatives. He then sent me to an endocrinologist. He had told me, well, your only options are either to cut your thyroid out, which is to me extremely radical, or to go under radiation and have radiation done to it, which also kills it.
Anna was questioning whether she was making the right medical choices. She knew that she had to do something. She didn't agree with the options presented to her. She began seeing Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum and started a course of treatment that combined traditional and other medical techniques.
Everything in my core tells me, do not cut it out. Do not radiate, don't do that.
Depending on the individual, there are a variety of options for treatment. Working with her physician, Anna began plotting a care plan that incorporated both Western medicine and other therapies.
I brought all my blood work because I had started to track everything. I gave her all my blood work, and then she had said that, okay, she goes, I will work with you, but I am going to tell you when enough is enough. Because as a heart doctor, it's not good if your heart is constantly racing. So she gave me a time limit. And she asked me, what is it that you plan to do? So I told her I plan to see an acupuncturist, which I was at the time. I would do Reiki for myself, and I also was doing Chinese herbs from the acupuncturist. So she said that come every month. So you have to come every single month, get your blood work done. We'll check everything out, and if at a certain point in time it's not working, she goes, then you really have to rethink. Finally, I found somebody that wanted to work with me.
Anna's Graves' disease is now in remission with her thyroid still intact. A voicemail from her doctor serves as a reminder of her journey and turning point when things finally got better.
Anna, it's Dr. Steinbaum. I'm literally screaming from joy. I have the best news. Your free T4 is 2.53 before it was 3.30.
So it's going down.
Everything is better. It's getting better.
I've saved that message because finding somebody that believes in you and that will work with you, that's priceless. Know who you're going to, no matter which, whether it be Western or Eastern medicine. You have to do your own research, you have to educate yourself. You know, a lot of times when you tell people you're trying something alternative, they think you're wacky, like you're doing some hippie type stuff. And it's really not. You know, I believe that East and West, they should come together, they should be, integrated.
Research, knowledge, and physician oversight are critical, especially when introducing vitamins and supplements into your routine.
That you really have to just keep looking to see what is it that works for you. It could be that you introduce meditation to help calm you, say if you're an anxious person. It could be sports, exercises, any number of things that can help balance out. So it's like having a toolkit, is how I look at it.